This ruling is not the final word. President Trump is appealing a federal judge's order to block him from firing Fed Governor Lisa Cook. White House spokesperson telling Fox News Digital, quote, the president lawfully removed Lisa Cook for cause due to credible allegations of mortgage fraud from her highly sensitive position overseeing financial institutions on the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. I'm not going to ask you, Kennedy, about monetary policy, but just put us in the room next week when the FOMC is meeting and Lisa is there, knowing that, well, you shouldn't be there.
No, she actually was appointed because of Kamala Harris, who cast the tie-breaking vote in the Senate. She obviously didn't have any confidence from Senate Republicans who saw her as a far-left activist. Why can't you fire someone on the Board of Governors? Why is that? You know, and the rationale, at least from the circuit court judge, was, well, you shouldn't be able to fire something for something they did before they were appointed to their task. It's like, well, what if they had a computer full of child pornography? Like, there seem to be some actionable things. Yeah. And, you know, she's being accused of mortgage fraud. It is now a criminal referral, and you can get up to 30 years in prison for that. So if it is that easy, and she's got a PhD, you know, she went all the way. Yeah. And then taught at Michigan State. I think she was a Spartan.
That's right.
Yeah.
A Spartan.
Yeah, as a professor.
Not Spartan with her accommodations, though. She had lots of houses. Not Spartan there.
Yes, she did. 3 of them at least.
At least.
She's like the Bernie Sanders of ultra-left Fed governors.
She's a real estate hoarder. She's part of the problem, lying on her mortgage documents and then hoarding real estate that other people could buy.
If you see yourself as having a political career and a path to the Fed, you better make damn sure that all those T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. And it seems like she was doing the opposite. And there might have been some chicanery, some fraudulent chicanery on those mortgage forms.
So mortgage fraud is a very big deal. It's not like, oh, I got a parking ticket the other day, I got to remember to pay it. No, it's a huge big deal. And if you are a member of the Federal Reserve Board, this should be exactly what you are not doing. I don't care if it happened 5 years ago or 20 years ago. Like, why didn't we know this before? So you talk to people in financial markets about this, they are aghast that this would happen. They're like, how is this possible? She is a regulator on the very industry who gave her these mortgages. I'm going to stop right now because I just get wound up. But you can't do that.
Maybe if we end the Fed, Jerry would feel better.
That's your monetary policy. I know that.
It's so much worse than you're talking about, because the law says the president, the executive, can fire someone in the executive branch for cause. And now you have a district court judge determining what the cause can and cannot be. I'm sorry. This is a total banana republic activist judge. Okay, President Trump will win on this, on the appeal. Absolutely. Right. How on earth can you have these district judges second guessing the judgment of the president? He did not violate the law. You're saying, oh, because this alleged cause happened before. Who are you to make this judgment? And they say Trump breaks norms. This is case 1,175 of the D.C. establishment just saying, to the hell with everything. I'm just going to do this to stick it to the man.
Well, you know, it's one thing we learned through all of these past 6 months is the bureaucracy has done a great job of putting themselves in a spot where you can't fire them. Like every agency the president wants to go into and fire somebody, they can't. It goes to court. I mean, I don't know how many of these things are fighting in court right now. They have totally insulated themselves from accountability. And that I think is what people see in this case. The left or the financial media want to make it about the independence of the Fed, but I think most honest people actually see there's a bigger issue, and the Fed is a piece of it, and that issue is accountability. Yeah. This like shadow government gets itself into jobs, and they've made it so that nobody can ever take them out of those jobs. And now the president's saying we're going to fight that all the way to the Supreme Court. And now the Supreme Court's going to have to make a decision about whether a criminal referral on mortgage fraud is grounds for being fired. And I think the chances are good they're going to say it is, because it's actually commonsensical to anybody who wants to look at the issue.
You know, I hope they don't. I hope they just say the president decides the costs. The courts don't decide what the cause is. The president, the executive, the leader of the executive branch can fire someone for cause in the executive branch. The CEO gets to decide what the cause is, not some court. Right? Because as soon as it becomes a court, it becomes the law then, is determined by the judge on the day in whichever way the wind is blowing and like who that judge is. It doesn't work that way.
Mike, it was a clerical error, okay? It was just, it was a clerical error.
It can't be because she's probably applying for 2 mortgages simultaneously. Right? And you do this because you have to put down less money and you get a lower interest rate, which magnifies the rate of return you get by investing in these homes. And if you're making this clerical error, you are not fit to sit on the Fed board.
And it was 3 properties. The first 2, she had 2 primary residences, and then the condo or the apartment in Cambridge was a second home that she was using as an investment property. And her legal team came out and said that the Biden administration knew about these problems when they nominated her to the Fed board. That does not absolve you from occupancy
I wonder how
fraud.
she got the nomination. That's weird. It's probably because she studied at Berkeley. That's, it's probably what it was.
A very renowned institution for sound economic thinking.
Yes, she is an economic genius, because she can't fill out mortgage
Just not
documents.
clerically inclined.
Right.
There's disclaimers under those boxes too.
They rake you over the coals when you file those mortgage documents, because it's like, you don't work in Atlanta. How is that possibly your primary residence? Wait, where do you live? Again, it's just insanity.